Have you ever wondered where all the toilet paper comes from? It doesn't grow on trees, that's for sure. It first starts with the harvester. An 18-ton piece of timber harvesting equipment is the smallest machine that starts the process. This strong machine is a true all-arounder in the forest, felling trees, delimbing, and sawing up trunks in less than a minute. It features 4 curved blades on the side and a saw at the bottom. The fallen trunk is delimbed by the knives, and it is propelled ahead by these rollers. The harvester can remove up to 100 trees in a single hour, but it is selective. It seeks only bad timber, twisted or incorrect trunks. Furniture is made from better wood, and toilet paper is a waste of excellent straight wood. At the facility, thousands of tree trunks come in with the intention of being processed into pulp, which is a necessary raw material for paper goods like toilet paper. The colossal wood chipper, which occupies a whole hall with 30-meter-tall conveyor belts carrying wood chips to gigantic stockpiles, is where this process starts. The logs are first put into a shaft that leads to revolving drums that simply crash into one another to remove the bark, eliminating the need for knives, saws, or axes. After that, the logs are submerged in water to remove any remaining sand and stones, preventing them from becoming part of the finished product. After that, a red metal detector searches the logs for metal particles about 20 times a day. It is common to find a variety of metal items, such as screws, nails, crowbars, construction cramps, and even bullet fragments. These metal impurities must be eliminated in order to shield the chipper's knives and other plant components from harm during later production phases. It's time for the decomposer to take control. Wood must be broken down into the smallest strands in order to make paper. The only tools needed for this are chemicals. Chemicals are added to big containers, and the wood chips are dissolved until only the fibers are left. Packed together, they have a white appearance similar to paper, but since that is only pulp, the raw material used to make paper, they are totally unfit for writing or using as toilet paper. This hall is likewise dedicated to pulp, namely the pulp found in used paper. Waste paper makes up 70% of the raw materials used by the German paper industry. Since each sheet may be recycled 7 times, it truly pays off. German collectors are especially diligent. This indicates that paper is the primary source of paper in Germany. But this gathering frenzy also means that the blue collection bins are overflowing with cardboard and even plastic. That kind of massive waste is not conducive to producing paper at all, much less toilet paper. Because of this, cleaning up the mess should come first, and that's just what the sorter follows. This enormous 2-story machine effectively eliminates cardboard, plastic, and trash from the belt using a completely automated system. The procedure starts with harsh pre-sorting on the first floor, when cardboard and big trash are filtered out using a sieve. The materials that are left are moved to the second floor, where sophisticated near-infrared sensors are used. In a split second, these sensors pick up pieces of cardboard and plastic, which sets off an air blast that shoots the impurities off the belt. Even with the advanced sorting skills, human interaction is still necessary for certain activities. The plant processes 400 tons of waste paper per day, but in order to keep the remaining remnants of cardboard from later clinging to the paper machine, they still have enough adhesive on them. These must be manually removed. Following sorting, the paper goes into the enormous washing machine, an intricate system evoking memories of the early Industrial Revolution. In order to recover fibers for the creation of new paper, the paper goes through 14 stations. This method is still more environmentally beneficial than making pulp from wood. The first important station consists of drums where waste paper is chemically broken down into a thin pulp. Tiny waste particles are filtered out of this mixture as it passes through a sieve. The fiber combination rotates quickly inside the cleansers during the next step, known as fine cleaning. Sand and splinters, among other heavy dirt particles, are forced outward by centrifugal forces and sink to the wall, where they are eliminated. The dank step is the last one. The procedure used today guarantees cleaner results than in the past, when recycled paper was always gray. Cleaner fibers that are ready to be used to make new paper are left behind after the fiber pulp is cleaned with soap to create foam, which draws ink particles that rise with the bubbles and are skimmed off the top. This is how the final product appears after washing. It is not possible to turn this rough sludge into exquisite paper. It very definitely can. After being bleached and heavily diluted with water, the pulp is sent into the 120-meter-tall paper machine. This is the main apparatus. It takes 4 steps to turn the fluid stock into solid paper: pressing, spraying, drying, and ironing. Sounds easy, but it's really very sophisticated. As we often say, the paper machine is incredibly complex. It has more control circuits than an airplane, but it isn't able to take off. However, the speed is unquestionably similar. The wire is this 10-meter white web. It speeds across many rollers in the machine at 100 kilometers per hour. This wire is used to manufacture the paper. The combination of fibers, additives, and water determines the type of paper, be it toilet paper or newsprint paper. The production process is always the same, in theory. This is how it operates. The fiber mixture is first sprayed onto a wire using 160 nozzles. The fibers stick to the wire while the water shoots through and drains away. In order to extract more water from the fibers, rollers at the second station press the wet fiber layer onto press felt, a special covering. The paper must still pass through a 65-meter-long heater or roller mill with rollers that reach 110 degrees Celsius because it still retains too much moisture. The thin fiber layers become bone-dry paper as a result of this drying process. But the paper is still a little wrinkled, so rollers are needed to iron it flat. Next comes quality control, where sensors determine the density and thickness of the paper. It's astounding that the whole thing takes just 7 seconds to complete. The paper web winds onto an enormous 40-ton jumbo reel in approximately 50 minutes. Even while this product is produced in enormous amounts, it is comparable to Germany's high rate of consumption, where an average person uses approximately 250 kilograms of paper annually, including toilet paper rolls, which are used up in less than 8 days. The toilet paper winder comes in to turn a large reel of toilet paper into little rolls. At 80 meters in length and a daily output of 500,000 rolls, this machine is amazing, even if it is not as big as the paper machine. It's important to wind yarn correctly. Jumbo reels are unwound in multiple steps, combining the paper layers to provide the desired 3-ply toilet paper. The paper is then adorned with vibrant patterns, such as flowers, using inking rollers because almost 3/4 of Germans like their toilet paper to be bright. The reverse side is micro-embossed, which adds volume and a nice soft texture by pressing tiny dots into the paper. This painstaking procedure guarantees that the finished product will be both aesthetically beautiful and cozy to use. A roller secures the paper layers together by applying a unique glue, preventing the layers from coming apart right away. The cardboard rolls, the paper's focal point, are then given to it after it has been pressed and perforated once again via a frame and a conveyor belt. These cardboard cores are brought inside the machine from the outside. The exact length of an 18.75-meter roll of toilet paper is achieved by winding the paper around them. The term logs refers to these long rolls, which is ironically related to their forest of origin. Using a log saw, the last process entails slicing the logs into individual rolls of toilet paper at a speed of 180 cuts per minute with blades. The manufacturing process for toilet rolls ends here because toilet paper cannot be recycled.